Hello and welcome to my time management class. Today's topic is be self-disciplined. I very much appreciate your attending. My name is Andrea and I'll be guiding you through today's class. So I'm always curious, how did you hear about today's class and where are you calling in from? Please let me know in the comments because it's always nice to see how our community is growing throughout the world. And thank you for sharing. So a little bit about me. I'm calling in from Maryland, which is on the eastern coast of the United States. And I'm a wife and mother of 4. So each day, my family and I will live with 12 healthy habits in order to enjoy a better quality of life and also to support the success of all that God calls us to do. And because these habits have been so transformative to our lives, I share guidance on how to both implement and stick with each helpful habit so that we can all live truly thriving lives. And I'll share more about the other workbooks and classes and coaching and support groups that I offer throughout the week. But for now, I want to go ahead and jump right into today's class. So our goal today is to learn new ways to be self-disciplined so that we can regain control over ourselves, over our time, and over our lives. While we're together, we'll consider what's taking control of the wheel when we lack self-control. We'll look into we'll discuss more about gentle yet effective ways to discipline ourselves. And we'll talk more about planning techniques to regain control over ourselves, over our time, and thus our lives. So let's take a second to consider what is in control. What is in control? So the only one other than ourselves that we ever really want in control or in the driver's seat of our lives is God. So like when your heart feels convicted to move in a different direction, or like when you feel divided between what you want to do and what's the right thing to do. So in moments like that, perhaps God is just trying to steer you in a different direction to align you with His will and to keep you on the right course in life. Now, any other drivers, even if they have innocent intentions, they rarely have our best interests in mind. And that's just human nature. So it's important to know what are your best interests so that you can be able to gauge if this is something that is in your best interest. So what is it that you want? And what's your calling? It's really important to know all these things and to be fully convicted so that you know where you're going and you make sure that you can get there and stay on course. When we lack direction, when we lack conviction, we can also lack self-control. So it's really important to make sure that we are fully convinced and fully convicted so that we can get to where we're going and we can stay on course. All right, so without self-control, we have to wonder who or what is controlling you? Let's reflect on these next few things. If you've ever found yourself suddenly in line for fast foods that you didn't originally plan to get, or wanting that outfit that you didn't originally plan to buy, or wasting time watching something that you hadn't planned to watch, then advertisements might be in that driver's seat, turning you right off course from where you wanted to go. Do you find yourself putting up security for your friends or for your congregation or for your job with very little time left for yourself and for your personal goals and callings? If so, then other people might have taken control of your time, which means that they are in position to have control over the course of your life. Have you ever found yourself canceling plans after a rough day, eating poorly after a stressful situation, or being short-tempered with people because you felt some type of a way, or just neglecting responsibilities because you feel excited about something else? If so, then emotions might be in control of the experiences and the words and the actions that you will be remembered by. If you want to stay self-controlled and prevent these things from veering you off course, then prayerfully plan your time, plan your meals, plan your ambitions, plan your spending, and plan your actions. Hey, baby. You got that book? It's bedtime bonnet. Let me change you. You say, hey. So if you want to stay self-controlled and prevent these things from veering you off course, then it's good to prayerfully plan your time, your meals, your ambitions, and spending, as well as your actions. That way, you can tell the advertisements that you've already got plans for your meals and for your money. You can remind your emotions about your ambitions. And you can make sure that the time that you grant to others won't leave you miles away from your own goals and callings. So we also need discipline. If we want to be in the driver's seat of our own lives, then we've got to have self-discipline with an emphasis on the word discipline, because discipline is key. So our parents and God have disciplined us for our good. Discipline works and is helpful because when we feel the negative consequence, we want to avoid the undesirable consequences and we want to avoid repeating that mistake. Without discipline, we get very comfortable doing unhelpful habits. And without self-discipline, we invite disciplinary actions from others, from our employers, and reprimands from family, etc. But when we discipline ourselves, we can avoid reprimands and disciplinary actions because no one else will have a reason to. Plus, when we discipline ourselves, we get to enjoy the fruit that comes with embracing more helpful habits. So let's look at some ways to discipline ourselves gently yet firmly and in a loving way. So when others discipline us, it comes with some sort of timeout, reprimand, or maybe a fee, or a natural consequence like standing outside of a closed door because we arrived late and we're being turned away. So the same goes for disciplining ourselves. To discipline yourself, it's good to take a time out and reflect on the milder consequences. This is the sound that you're hearing. A baby playing with water. Yay! Nice. No wonder. Pick it up. Yeah? It's nice. Wow. To discipline yourself, it can be helpful to take a time out and reflect on the milder consequences. So for example, even if the unhealthy food hasn't raised your blood pressure yet, maybe it still upsets your stomach. Or even though you still got to work on time this time, maybe you suffered a lot of stress or anxiety along the way. To discipline yourself, you can also reflect on the consequences that could have happened and still reprimand yourself. I encourage you to feel the emotions that come from those reflections, and remember those emotions aren't bad, they're there to teach you something. They're there to make sure you avoid repeating it and avoid having to deal with that problem in the future. So I encourage you to try implementing consequences for yourself. Take time to research the medications and the procedures that you'll need if you continue eating unhealthy. Apologize anyway, even if you don't get called out for that hurtful statement. And put money in a jar for the fee that you could have gotten. So this week, try implementing these timeout reflections, these self-reprimands, and the natural consequences so that you can discipline yourself and stay self-disciplined. So we want to regain control. To regain control of yourself, it's good to know what are your goals and what are your callings. And be willing to say no, a gentle no thank you to the ads and the people and the invitations and the emotions that would otherwise conflict with your goals and callings. And to regain control of your time, it's important to plan your day before you start it, at least a day or a week in advance, to get first dibs before others begin requesting your time. And in doing so, in regaining control of yourself and regaining control of your time, you're also going to regain control of your life. So you may have noticed earlier that I said that my family and I, we live with 12 healthy habits in order to enjoy a better quality of life. So then time management is just one of the 12, and we basically embrace all these healthy habits so that there will be less bad habits that would sabotage our efforts to obey God, and more healthy and good habits that support our success as we live to do all that Yahweh has called us to do. For time management and for each one of the 12 healthy habits, I offer guidance via videos and workbooks and classes and support groups to help you to implement and stick with each healthy habit as well. So if you could use more guidance with this or any of the other 12 healthy habits, I'm here to guide you. You can find more details on my website, which is trulythrivinglives.org. All right. So I'd love to know, how did you enjoy today's class and what questions do you have for me? You can let me know in the comments below, or if you'd like, you can save your questions for support group or for coaching. Either way, I look forward to supporting you along your journey. Thank you again for attending and have a blessed day.